Hey guys, welcome to another lesson for this week. I apologize about not being one for last week. I was a little under the weather and just wasn't able to make one. We're going to keep going on the Top Gun Anthem today. We'll work on part C and we'll learn the little ending at the end of the final repetition of part A, just a little different. And then we'll try to put it all together after that, okay? So, starting out with part C, I have kind of shown here. We're actually going to start playing it. You can see my highlighting with that first note before the start of part C. So it's going to start on that fourth beat of the previous bar. My apologies about having to do the pointing. I tried to do this on Zoom where I could screen share and show the music and diagram it all, but just the video and audio quality just wasn't good enough. So we're going to go old school with this, and this way you can at least hear and see what I'm playing a little better. So I'll just show you what part C sounds like. It's kind of two parts. It's the first three bars go like this. Okay? Then the second half of that little run is an ascending run of the C major scale. Okay, so we're starting at our C here, and we're going to end up back at our C here. And then we're back into part A again. Okay? So how that second half of the run goes is the first note of it, if we look at it, it's bar 32. So it's actually the fourth bar of part C. So that last run is just the way that section goes. Part C only has, what do we got here, 7 bars instead of 8. So it's kind of strange in that way. It's just the way it goes with that. So it's going to be starting at our C. That's a half note. But then the rest of the notes going up are going to be a dotted quarter and then an eighth. Hold. So it's going to be 1 and 2. Sorry. 1 and 2. It'll make a little more sense. We'll do it with the metronome here. And it gives it that kind of crescendo, like elevating feeling, so it kind of builds up. So this is just going to be from bar 32. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's the second half. So let's run over the first half of part C again. We'll do it with the metronome, and the tricky part is it has, see here, we have our sets of quarter note triplets, which means we have to fit 3 notes into the space of where we normally fit 2 quarter notes. So our first of the 3 notes is going to be on the third beat, okay? Excuse me. But then our second and third notes are going to kind of on either side of that last beat of the bar, not directly on the beat. So you kind of got to get some feel to it. As explained in my beginner class, this song is actually one guitar player and a pianist keyboardist. So there's no second guitar parts, there's no overdubbing, he just kind of played it. So let some freedom of, kind of a little freedom with the timing and the tempo and just putting space in there and not playing everything dead on if you didn't need to, because there wasn't anything to really lock into. It wasn't a very technical part, there's kind of a vocal quality to it, like singing. Okay? So let's run over just the first, or we'll do the first 3 bars. So bars 29 to 31. And down so you can see here. And as I said, this is going to start on 3 count because we're playing on that last beat of the bar. 1, 2, 3. And that's where it runs into that next section. So I will play that again for you. 1, 2, 3. last note, but that's the idea of it. Then it goes head back into part A. So again, it's going to be, so the song structure is part A, part B, part A, which is that main theme, just with the part B is the different the key change. C is our bridge. The whole song actually has a huge guitar solo section in it as well. Has a few more repetitions of the main theme, but I've just kind of condensed it down. And then after part C, we have another A, and that goes back to B. And then our final time through of A and the song, the last two bars of the song are just slightly different. Okay? And again, we have our triplet. So here we're going to fit 6 notes in. And this is actually very similar to what the ending of the part A theme sounds like going into the part C, where it goes down instead of up. So I'll play just the last 4 bars of the song so you can hear it, and then we'll break down again with the metronome those last 2 bars. So the last 4 bars, the last repetition of the theme is going to sound like this. Okay, so just those last 2 bars on their own, with the 2 groups of triplets, so 6 notes, and then our last bar is going to sound like this. And I'll play that with the metronome so you can kind of hear the timing. And this will be on a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. So you hear the notes that land on the beat are. Is how you play the ending of the song. Okay, so now the bass part. We'll go over the bass on part C. So again, a whole bunch of whole notes, but it actually plays a interesting harmony to what's going on with the guitars. So on its own, it's going to sound like this. And again, play it with the metronome just because it's easier. Now that run up, we're just going to keep playing that G. Now, you may ask why we're just playing that G when the guitar is going up through the scale, and it's a C major scale and we're playing the G. Well, one, G is in our scale, but it just adds an interesting little harmony. So I'm going to see if I can play the run with that note in there. Now we're back into part A. So that's what they sound like together. Again, that was pretty poorly done on my part, but it's hard that you can't play the adjacent notes. I had to try to finger pick it and do that, but that's why it's the one note just keeps repeating for the bass. On its own, it doesn't sound like the song at all. Often, if it's a good counterpoint bass line, it won't. Personally, I have a story of I was in the studio with my band, and a song I had personally written. Our bass player had written a bass line for it, and he was playing it on his own without the guitar part behind it, and I thought it was wrong. I absolutely thought it was totally wrong. The notes were wrong. He messed it up. I was about to make him redo it or have to do it myself, and then we put everything together and it worked perfectly fine because he had figured out the theory behind the notes, and it just made it more interesting than absolutely just mirroring the guitar, which is the advantage of having a bass, is it doesn't always have to follow the guitar. It's not always locked in with a rhythm guitar. This song, there is no rhythm guitar. We have a left hand and a right hand on the keyboard, and then we have the bass, which is your left hand almost at the keyboard, the bass side, and then the guitar. So that's why sometimes the note choices seem strange in this for the bass on their own. They don't really follow the theme of the guitar line if you're just going by ear off that. But together they do work out. Okay. So I'm going to put some playthrough videos below just for those parts, again with different tempos on the metronome, and then I'm going to do some full song playthroughs now. They're not going to be up there today. I'm going to add those next couple days. I just honestly don't have the time today to try to do them in a couple tempos because it takes a little more time, and I'm more likely with a longer piece of music to just flub a note or forget what I'm doing and then have to do a bunch of takes. So we'll add those in and then keep working on those, and we'll probably start on something new next week. Okay? Good luck.